All right, come on, come on, come on. Come on, God. Regular game just isn't hitting like it used to. I think it's time for something new. Hey, you. Yes, you with the glasses. Look over here. No, fool, not over there. Over here.
Oh.
Okay, now that you're paying attention, I heard you're having problems with gaming. Sounds like you need a VR headset. Now, the market is absolutely flooded with options ranging from $300 to over $3,000. That's even before you buy accessories. Today, I'm going to break down every VR headset you should consider in 2025 and 2026, from budget-friendly to the absolutely insane enthusiast tier. All right, thank you, disembodied voice. It's actually not a disembodied voice. It's your boy Mardu VR, and today we're diving deep into the VR headset market with some real hands-on experience. I personally tested most of these headsets, dealt with software issues, done the modifications, and even reviewed a lot of these headsets on the list. We're gonna cover everything from entry-level Meta Quest to micro OLED beast that'll make your eyeballs weep tears of joy from the graphic. So I've organized this list into 3 tiers. So we got low end, mid range, and high end. And spoiler alert, all these headsets gonna be linked below in the description with discounts if I have them. And there's also a giveaway for Pimax Crystal Super, so make sure you check the bio below to see if you can enter it. With all that being said, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get into it. Starting with the low end tier, the tech here has gotten so good that these budget options are putting belt to what we had just a few years ago. First up is the Meta Quest 3S at $299, which is a steal. This is Meta's aggressive play to the consumer market. The 3S has the same Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip as the Quest 3, meaning identical performance as the $500 option. With the lower price, you get the less premium feeling Fresnel lenses instead of those premium pancake lenses. The Quest 3S also has a lower resolution of 1832 by 1920. It also doesn't have a headphone jack, which is a very strange option. You also get the older 3-point IPD adjustment from the Quest 2, and IPD is the distance between your pupils, so it's very important for clarity and comfort. So the sweet spot is smaller, but you get full color pass-through, which looks a lot better than the Quest 3 in my opinion. Mixed reality, hand tracking, upper body tracking, and a genuinely strong wireless PSVR capability. And if you don't know, PSVR is basically connecting your headset to a gaming PC wirelessly or even wired to play demanding games like Half-Life Alyx or anything else you can find on Steam. You mentioned the access to the entire Meta Quest library, which includes hundreds of premium games, free games, and a bunch of other experiences. We are talking $300, family. That is a steal. If you're new to VR, just buy this and call it a day until you want to upgrade later when you want some more out of your VR headset. And next we have the Meta Quest 3, which comes in at $499. This is the older and stronger cousin of the Meta Quest 3S. This headset is truly a jack of all trades and was my daily driver for a few years for a reason. Those pancake lenses are absolutely the best in the business. Meta's billions of dollars in research and development really show, and that edge-to-edge clarity will really spoil you from a lot of VR headsets. We're talking 2064 by 2208 resolution per eye, which is a really good jump above the Meta Quest 3S. It also has some of the best pass-through and hand tracking in the VR scene, upper body tracking, PSVR capabilities, and this one actually includes a headphone jack. This headset and the Meta Quest 3S work great as spatial computers for watching YouTube, 3D movies, or anything else you want to do on a mobile computer. And what's also dope is for that, no PC is required because it's all in OS. The Meta Quest 3 store is the same as the 3S, so thousands of apps, experiences, and games are still at your fingertip. You really just genuinely can't go wrong with the Quest 3, man. And honestly, it is funny because even as a reviewer myself, I have to argue every month and every week about headsets that cost $1,000 more, still not being as useful as the Meta Quest 3. So take that as you will. You wouldn't believe the comments I get because Meta is selling this thing at a crazy price. So if you have a little bit of bread, you really can't go wrong with the Quest 3. Next, we have the underdog of this whole section, which is the PSVR 2 at $399, but has been seen as low as $350 on Black Friday sales and eBay. Now, this headset is the first wired VR headset we're going to cover. It can be used on PS5 and or PC. Where the PSVR 2 really shines is the OLED display, which results in beautiful, vibrant colors and truly dark and black scenes. You'll notice how in some VR headsets, when you look at dark backgrounds, especially on the Quest 3, it'll look kind of grayish, but not on the PSVR 2, it actually looks black. It's also ridiculous how wide the FOV, which is field of view, for this headset is. And field of view basically is how much you can see around you measured in degrees. And I kid you not, the PSVR 2 has some of the greatest FOV in VR. The PSVR 2 also has eye tracking, which the fact that it even works on PC now at this price is insane. You will not find a headset with eye tracking this cheap. It also has haptic feedback and HDR, which is PS5 only for now. Now, people are working on drivers to bring it over to PC, but that stuff takes time. The downside of the OLED display though is the mirror. Mirror looks like basically a slight stain on the display, as you can see sometimes at all times or in certain scenes where you have a very dark background and some light. You guys should be able to see an example of what mirror looks like on screen. And I promise you it's not as bad as it sounds, because some people notice it more than others. And some PSVR 2 headsets have a bit more mirror than other VR headsets. So for me personally, obviously it's not a deal breaker, but for some people, it made them return the headset. Moving on from that though, the PS5 game library is smaller than like say MetaQuest, but it still has a lot of great and fun games on it. S-tier experiences like Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil 4 VR, Resident Evil 8 VR, even Horizon, call them out, even though I feel like it's more of a tech demo. There's a lot of games on there that will give you hours and hours of enjoyment. And even getting a PC adapter changes the game and even allows for what we call dynamic foveated rendering, which results in crazy performance gains using eye tracking if you have like a mid-range system, lower system, or even on beefy PCs, giving you extra frames. So now you can hook it up to your rig and get access to the full Steam VR library, which is a massive win and makes this a much more compelling buy. Personally, I love the PSVR 2, and I will hope a lot more of you guys try it. Don't listen to VR YouTubers. Go try it for yourself, and I hope you like it and hope you keep it. Now, mid-range is where things get spicy, and by spicy, I mean you better have a mid-range, the beefy PC, and a bigger wallet. To start off the infamous mid-tier, we have the Pimax Crystal Light at $858. This headset supports up to 2880 by 2880 resolution per eye, QLED with mini LED local dimming that gets surprisingly close to that micro OLED look. The only thing about this headset is that it's very, and I mean very heavy and really front loaded. And you'll definitely need a mod kit with counterweights to make it more comfortable and more balanced. I personally recommend Studio Form, and I will link those below, but I ran this headset with the 4090 and had a blast, but the minimum card that I seen, especially on the website, was an RTX 2070. I still recommend something a little bit beefier in the 30 series though, if you really want to use that full resolution of the Pimax Crystal Light. This headset is a true flight simmers headset. If you like playing Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, DCS World, or anything else in that lane, then this headset is for you if you want something under $1,000. The very wide FOV that Pimax is known for helps a lot with immersion in this headset. What's also nice about this headset is that you don't need to buy base stations. It actually comes with controllers. And if you don't know what a base station is, it's an external sensor you can mount on your walls for room scale tracking with Steam VR headsets. They're usually about $150 each, and you need 2 of them minimum for a PC VR setup. So that really ups the price when you're trying to do your headsets. There is a lighthouse faceplate optional for people who want that, you know, lighthouse tracking with Valve Index controller, stuff like that, but it's totally optional. And I also must mention that Pimax is running a Black Friday deal right now for the Crystal Light, so definitely check that out in the description below for any discounts I can hook you up with. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the Bigscreen Beyond 2, aka the world's smallest VR headset at 1019. This thing is tiny. We're talking 107 grams, and those micro OLED displays are set to be stunning at 2560 by 2560 per eye. Now the FOV, aka the field of view, is more narrow than the competitors, but that's the price to pay for such a small headset. This headset is genuinely perfect for flight sim, VR chat, or really anything you throw at it. People even sleep in this headset because it's so comfortable, and that's kind of crazy. I can't imagine sleeping in VR. This headset is PC only and no controllers are included. So you have to buy those base stations, some Valve Index controllers for tracking. And that adds a lot more money to the price. So really, instead of $1019, it can end up being about $1,500 to $1,600 for the full Steam VR setup. So this is for VR veterans who are already in the Steam VR ecosystem. Maybe you had a Valve Index before, or for people who genuinely do not mind spending extra money for the lightest VR experience possible. Personally, I haven't used the Bigscreen Beyond 2 because I had it ordered and I had to cancel it, but hopefully I get to review this one day because I'm actually curious if this headset really holds up. But from all the reviews I've been seeing, apparently it's really good. Big screen, if you see this, send your boy a headset I can review. And now we're at the infamous high-end tier, where dreams meet kind of sometimes cruel reality checks. I have spent thousands of my dollars testing these, so learn from my pain and my joy. All right, so we have to talk about the elephant in the room first, which is the Apple Vision Pro at a whopping $3,500. So this isn't a gaming headset, it is a spatial computer. And that's the term that Apple wants to use, but honestly, it kind of fits. Apple essentially wants this to replace whatever Mac or iPhone or whatever you have, and this become your ecosystem. The micro OLED displays are amazing, and the new M5 chip that just came out is legitimately powerful. I've seen some pretty cool stuff come from it. So the hand tracking on the Apple Vision Pro is magical, and honestly it has to be because this headset does not come with the controllers. But I have to be honest, it's a $3,500 productivity device with a not so good game library and doesn't really come with controls. Like I said, it's also very front heavy, but you can mod it for comfort. And they just came out with the new head strap that allows for a lot more comfort while wearing it. Now, if you're a gamer first type of VR user, then this obviously isn't for you. But if you're somebody who likes to code or write papers or just wants to watch YouTube and do other stuff on your device at the same time, this is genuinely perfect. I can never justify spending this much money on the Apple Vision Pro, but if you're a rich developer or an Apple superfan who wants to watch movies on a giant virtual screen or just explore spatial computing, go for it. But for everybody else though, I couldn't, it's a harder sell. Moving on from Apple, our next headset is the high-end quintessential flight sim / race sim headset, aka the Pimax Crystal Super at $17.99. I've been using this headset in my 4090 and I recently upgraded to a 5090 to use more of that 3840 by 3840 per eye resolution at 50 ppd, aka pixels per degree, and it is pure clarity. So if you didn't know, higher ppd means sharper text and details, and for reference, 2020 human vision is around 60 ppd. So 50 ppd is getting real close to that perfect clarity. Now this isn't micro OLED, it actually is QLED, which I actually like in certain cases more than micro OLED because I haven't seen a lot of micro OLED VR headsets with very wide FOV like this QLED headset. And sadly, just like with the PSVR 2 not being LCD or anything like that, the QLED does come with some slight mirror on the display, but it's way less than the PSVR 2 and not noticeable to a lot of people, but it is a deal breaker for some who really notice it. This headset is absolutely bonkers for any flight sim situation because of the clarity in view, and if that 50 ppd isn't enough for you, it also has an interchangeable optical engine for people who want 57 ppd or even micro OLED, which is releasing in the future. It also has a crazy field of view and no glare. I've never seen any glare in this headset, which I really like, and it also has local dimming. This headset does come with controllers, but the tracking on the controller is very hit or miss, but I heard there is a lighthouse plate planned for people who have existing Steam VR ecosystems. The other elephant in the room though is that this headset is heavy, just like the Pimax Crystal Light. It needs counterweights really bad and can get a little hot when you wear it, but like I said before earlier, for the counterweights, it's an easy fix from studio form. To run this monster on your PC, you're gonna need a 4090 minimum, in my opinion. Realistically, I would say a 50 series, so you really can get more graphic power, because this headset is a real monster when it comes to running graphics. Like I said before, Pimax is running those Black Friday deals, and they're also doing a giveaway for an optical engine for this headset, so definitely check that out in the description below. And if you need more just knowledge of this headset, go check out my reviews for the Crystal Light and the Crystal Super. Next, we have the headset that gave me the most up and down experience I've ever had with a piece of technology while I've been reviewing. We're talking about the Meganex Superlight 8K at $18.99. So this is a very small headset, and I often call it the high-end Bigscreen Beyond, because to be honest with you, it's kind of in that same tier. It's really more intended for VR chatters, because I think the guy who obviously made the headset is a VR chatter and he wanted a small headset. But it is awesome for everything else you throw at it. I've played shooters in it, I've done flight sim in it, and I gotta be honest, this headset had a terrible launch, and then the community saved it by making custom drivers to make it a native Steam VR headset before you had to go through their terrible software. But shout out to SBoys3, because of him, he saved me so much money that I invested into this headset. It was so bad, I originally threw this headset in the trash, but now it's one of my go-tos for PC VR. What a comeback. Now, the only bad thing is how much money you have to sink into it. You're gonna need controllers, which are $279, and base stations, which run you about $270. So it's really about $2,600 if you do not have an existing Steam VR setup. And you also gotta factor in anything you use for modifications or comfort. Now, if you love tinkering and modding and really want a high-end micro OLED just experience with a small VR headset and a little bit of plug and play after getting all the custom drivers set up, this will fit it seamlessly into your existing Steam VR setups, and I'd actually recommend it now. Before I wouldn't. Now, they do have the MK2 coming out real soon. I probably will send my headset in so it can get upgraded, but I don't know, we'll see. Now it's time to talk about the Play for Dream MR, which is also called the Chinese Apple Vision Pro for obvious reasons. This headset is $2,000, making it one of the most expensive headsets on this list, and it actually includes a refund policy if you use the Singapore store. Yes, you heard that right. I see people on Reddit saying all the time that there's no refund policy. That's simply not true. We're talking 3552 by 3840 per eye, micro OLED, full Android OS, but without the Google Play services. If you're a PSVR aficionado looking for a wireless PC VR upgrade from the Meta Quest, this headset includes Virtual Desktop's new Monster Mode for full resolution wireless PC VR that honestly, to me, rivals DisplayPort quality, and even uses ThinkLink 2.0, which uses dynamic foveated encoding, which virtually erases all compression and artifacting that plagues wireless PC VR, especially on the Meta Quest side, or anything that doesn't use it. This headset, personally, for me, retired my Quest 3 because I only use it for PC VR anyway. Now, the downsides is that the stock face gasket just really isn't good, and comfort is a very big issue that you're gonna need a credit card or a 3D printer to fix, to be honest with you. This definitely was one of the most uncomfortable VR headsets that I have ever had, but after modding, throwing a bubble strap on there, I use this basically almost any time that I want to play VR. Another thing I need to mention is the lenses. So the lenses aren't perfect. They don't bother me as much as other people because I get really close to the lenses, so the sweet spot is fine for me. Some people are definitely gonna not like it because, especially if you're further back from the lenses, but it's one of those headsets where I recommend you get as close to the lenses as possible for optimal experience. They're obviously not gonna be anywhere near a Quest 3 because, I mean, they didn't dump billions of dollars in R&D, but if you want true next-gen wireless PC VR, then look no further than the Play for Dream MR. Our last but not least headset is a Samsung Galaxy XR. At $1739 with no controllers in the box, this is Samsung's answer to the Apple Vision Pro. It runs on a Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 platform, and we're talking 3552 by 3840 per eye with those micro OLED displays. This headset also has advanced eye, hand, and face tracking. So if you're a VR chatter, I definitely think you're gonna want that. It's also got high resolution pass-through, not as good as a Quest 3 or Apple Vision Pro to me, but it's still really good. Most importantly though, it's directly tied into Google and Samsung's ecosystem. That means the Google Play Store, which includes YouTube and a bunch of other apps, is all at your fingertips. It's genuinely meant to be a spatial computer just like the Apple Vision Pro, but for Android and Galaxy crowds. The downside right now though is comfort, but to me that can easily be fixed with just changing out the pad or two and just adding a little top strap. It's also a wired headset to a puck just like the Apple Vision Pro, so definitely avoid if you don't like that. But personally, to me, it doesn't get in the way. Now, if you do want controllers, it's going to be another couple $100, getting you closer to that $2,000 price tag. So, you know, you've been warned. And the controllers are on a back order right now. So if you want to get them, go ahead and get them while you can get them. The PSVR on it isn't the best, but the Galaxy XR has the potential to be one of the best VR headsets on this list in the future with some software updates if Google/Samsung actually supports it. Personally, I really like my Galaxy XR, and I'm definitely going to keep it. I can't wait to see where it grows from here. Ooh, man, we covered a lot of VR headsets. Navigating the crowded VR market is tough with so many great options. For most people though, they're probably just gonna get a Meta Quest 3 or 3S because they are the top recommendations for most people getting into VR. They provide an excellent matured hardware experience and it's really future-proof support, all without that massive price tag. If your priority is the highest possible quality under 500 and you're okay with being tethered to a console or PC, PlayStation VR 2 with the PC adapter or even on a PS5 or PS5 Pro is a fantastic choice. Now for the more dedicated VR enthusiasts, there are more specialized headsets out there. Crystal Light, Crystal Super, the Play Dream MR. There's just so many things you can choose. Hopefully this list helps you kind of narrow down what you want. I do have full reviews for a lot of these headsets. Just go find them on my page. Hopefully I link them to the top right during each section so you can find it a little bit easier. With all that being said, I hope you guys are happy with my list. I've left discount codes and affiliate links in the description below if you want to support the channel for some of these headsets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come back to hang out with your boy. If you want to see more realistic VR games, then just click the video on the screen. And remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset.